Welcome back to pregame.tv. I'm Marco D'Angelo with Vegas Runner. We're breaking down Saturday March Madness action. We've got Virginia Commonwealth versus Michigan. VR, Virginia Commonwealth. Absolute total
monsters.
Domination of Akron. I think that score definitely misleading because Akron, as you know, at the end of the season, they suspended their guard play. And when you're facing Virginia Commonwealth with that havoc defense that the pressure they put on you, you want to have an experienced ball.
Yeah, not a power forward bringing the ball up. Definitely not.
So, we talk about it and, we'll throw out one of my old sayings that you've heard me say a gazillion times. Nobody's as good as their best game, or are they as bad as their worst. In Virginia Commonwealth, that was their best game. They're a good team, but they're not that good. I know this is, your free pick, but give us a little preview before we dig deep in it.
All right, for starters, Michigan's a true steam play. As soon as that line opened at 2, guys that I know that move, right away bet Michigan. And when I looked at my true line for this game, Marco, I made Michigan -4.5 on a neutral court. If they were playing anywhere in the country except in either team's arena, Michigan would be about a 4.5-point favorite in my book. They opened to -2. This game's in Auburn Hills, Michigan. You got to shade it a little bit. You got to give them something, 1.5, 2 points. So for me, I think this line should be closer to 6, 6.5. I'm not surprised they steamed it, but fortunately for the books, the betting public's going to be all over VCU. Not only are they going to bet them straight, they're going to be sprinkling all day. I can't blame them. Shaka Smart has one of the best ATS records in the last few seasons. I think only one time, if you bet VCU in the big dance, have you not cashed the ticket?
Right.
Well, the second time is going to be Saturday.
Well, this is one of those things, VR, and we talked about it in the last video that we did. We looked at the line with St. Louis and Oregon, and we had a matchup in that one, a 4-12 matchup. Here's a 4-5 matchup, and we're looking at the same line.
Same number, baby.
One of these, something's wrong.
Okay. Someone's off here.
So the way I look at games, and I say that, Vegas tries to point you in a direction where they want
to take the worst of it.
And to me, they're in the St. Louis game. They're begging you to take St. Louis because that line I thought should have been higher. And in this one, they're begging you to take Virginia Commonwealth.
Yeah, they're like
based off of those two games.
Go ahead, come take them. They won by 45. We'll give you 3.5. You know what? We'll give you some points. Why not?
Now, and then you add in, and we said it about St. Louis in the last game. Again, here's a situation where the Atlantic 10, we got another Atlantic 10 team. They've done nothing wrong. LaSalle, Temple, Virginia Commonwealth, baby. St. Louis, Atlantic 10, other than Big Five. We've talked about it in many videos.
Big Five ball, baby.
It's a different brand of basketball.
Yeah,
it's hard nosed and
the Palestra.
But I got to look at Michigan. I don't think Michigan. I think one of the keys for me when I look at this game is, as we talked about, that matchup problem with Akron not having a guy to handle that pressure. Michigan's got athletes. They're not going to be it's going to bother them in spurts, but it's not going to be a whole game of bothering. They're going to be able to break that press and come up, and then they get into a fast-paced game with Virginia Commonwealth. That shifts right into Michigan's strength.
Listen, when you look at strength of schedule in these two teams, it's day and night. Michigan plays in the Big Ten, and they had a great season. If you look, Ohio State, Indiana, Wisconsin, Michigan State, Illinois. I mean, there's some good
We'll talk about Illinois in a bit.
In a bit. There's some good teams in that conference. I think Michigan's as undervalued as you're going to get because of those top 3 teams that we're talking about. But I think Michigan had a right to have a higher seed even than like a St. Louis. I'm surprised Michigan's a 4 and St. Louis is a 3. But again, I agree with you 100%. Michigan is not going to be overwhelmed by this defense by VCU. In fact, Michigan has the second most efficient offense in all of college basketball. They can handle this pressure, no problem at all. And then you add a great coach. When Beilein went to Michigan, this team won 10 games only, 10-22 his first year. They went 27-7 this season. Yeah. he's built this program over 5 years, and now you're seeing the product on the court. I love Michigan in this spot, Marco. I think this has the makings of a double-digit win, one of those where Michigan's up 6-7 points, and then the hack in at the end, and they go double digits. So don't even tease VCU. Save your money. Don't sprinkle nothing on that damn money line. Don't take the points, and don't tease that shit, that stuff. Excuse me.
I'll go back to one thing with Michigan. You said they should have been a higher seed. The game that cost them at the end of the season, and it's uncharacteristic, but they blew that Indiana game. If they don't blow that game where they had the 5-point lead late, they're higher than they're higher seed, definitely. But hey, VR, this is your free pick, so let's make it official.
Hardaway Burke, get it done for Michigan. Listen, VCU. In the big dance, they've gotten it done. They've cashed tickets. And if you've bet this team, you've made some money. So you're not going to get rich fading VCU in the big dance. But every efficient market eventually corrects itself. And I think this is a huge correction right here. Michigan opening only 2. Ain't Auburn Hills was an absolute joke, and the wise guys reprimanded the bookmakers for that. But fortunately for them, they're going to have more than enough public money the other way to offset that. And come Saturday, they'll be cheering in the sharps on Michigan, and I'll be one of them. I like the Wolverines.
All right, I got to agree with you, VR, on this one. I like Michigan as well. That's VR's free pick. We're going to come right back here. We're going to look at Harvard.
Harvard, baby.
Harvard at Arizona. They were too smart for New Mexico. We'll see if they can do the same to Arizona. That's up next at pregame.tv.